All right, this is Brent with P1D. I got Sarah as my camera person over there. So today we're going to do winterization for beginners. This will be my third time winterizing our RV, and if I can do it, pretty much anyone can do it.
Amen.
So, there you go. So you have a couple different methods. Some people, they'll just do it by simply using compressed air. And then others like myself, I like to use a combination of compressed air and RV antifreeze. Okay, so this is food grade antifreeze. It's super safe to put through your lines. It's not, you don't want to use the auto antifreeze or anything like that. So please just use the stuff you can get at any big box store, hardware store, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you get the right stuff for the RV marine antifreeze. I use the Viair 400P RV air compressor. So this thing is awesome, not only for obviously my tires, but also have a little regulator that I purchased. It's a winterization regulator for the Viair itself, because you don't want to go over about 30 psi when you're blowing out the lines. So I can set that to 30. That way we know we're safe. It's not gonna mess up any of our plumbing lines. But those of you that just use the compressed air, you know, super simple, but for those of us that live north of the Mason-Dixon line, especially up in the Midwest, when it gets in those negative 20 to 40 degree range, you want to use that RV antifreeze, I can promise you that. So first and foremost, you got to empty your tanks. So I've already emptied our fresh water tank as well as the water heater. So I've got a Dometic water heater. So I emptied that out, and then next I'm going to go empty our black and gray tank. So let's roll. Completely drained our black and gray tanks. Next thing we want to do is drain out all of our plumbing lines. So first I'm going to go down here to our low point drains. There, if you can get this. So we'll open these up. And we'll let those drain out. So while those are draining down here, we'll go inside and we'll open a couple faucets, and that will also help push some water down to these low point drains. So let's go do that. And by just opening some of these, there's no water coming out now, but there will be some water coming out of your low point drains, just kind of pushing that pressure back. And I'm gonna do the same in our bathroom.
You want me to?
You can hear a little bit of pressure in here, and that's just water going out.
We should have set up.
Okay. Looks like we don't have any water coming out of it now, but I'm going to leave the low point drains open, and we're going to start blowing some air pressure through. But first, I'm going to start out with the black tank, and we'll go ahead and get that blown out. So here's my Viair. I've got this air pressure regulator. It's the from the winterization kit from the Viair. So it just comes with a hose barb here, just like anyone. So you can put it in just like any regular hose. Take out the little filter. And this is the black tank flush. It's got a small little area going through that that you want to flush all the water out. You don't want to leave any in that. Got this pressure regulator set to 30. black tank flush completely blown out. We'll put that in, leave that out to... Alright, so now let's go to our city water connection, and this is where we're going to blow out all of our plumbing lines.
Can I look at that first?
So depending on what type of system you have, we have a pretty simple system in this Grand Design. Others have the Nautilus system that's a little more complex, but all in all, they're pretty much the same. So I'm going to take out our little filter there, screw in our connection.
Is there a light you can turn on in there?
Yeah, that might be better for you if you can actually see in here. And then Sarah, if you'll go over to the low point drains as well as now. Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of it came out.
And
Oh, I didn't get any of this.
And then you can show this one as well. So this is a, if you want to scoot back. So my water heater, this is a 6-gallon tank water heater. I've got a Atwood Dometic, so I have a little plastic plug here. If you have a Suburban water heater, you'll have an anode rod that you'll want to completely take out. But I've already drained this, so it's good to go. I'm going to blow some more air through, and you may still see a little bit of water come out of this. So let me go do that real fast.
Nothing came out of that, but more came out of the low point drains.
Okay. Well, hey, that's a good thing. This thing is completely dry. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the plug back in, and then we'll bypass the water heater. You don't want to put any antifreeze through a 6-gallon water heater. Now, a tankless water heater, yes, it's good to put antifreeze through that, but with these, you want to just completely drain, and then we'll bypass it to where there's no antifreeze that goes through this. But first, let's get all the faucets blown out. So Sarah, if you want to go in while I hit the air, and if you'll open each faucet one by one inside.
Oh, so we'll do the bypass after all this?
Yep, we'll do the bypass. Yep, and as I'm blowing air, if you'll just open up the faucet, you can do hot or cold, whichever, doesn't matter which one first, and then you should see some water coming out.
Okay.
Open it. Alright, did you get anything come out?
Just a little bit.
Did you do both sides?
No, I just did cold. I didn't
just do, I mean, once you see nothing coming out.
Oh, okay.
So, all right.
Nothing's coming out of that.
Do what, babe?
Nothing's coming out of that.
All right, perfect. If you'll go in the bathroom and do those as well. Blowing all the regular lines out, what I like to do is put this little knob in between the city water and the fresh water at a 45-degree angle.
Which one?
This little blue knob here in between the city and the fresh fill. I'll blow it out. That make sure that we get it blown out going both ways. All right. Let that stop for a sec. Okay. Now I've turned it up to the fresh tank fill, and I'm just going to blow the lines going out the fresh tank. So. Okay, so that's got all the lines blown out. Pretty simple. So we did all the city water, the fresh water, made sure to open up the low point drains, open up the faucets to try to get as much of that water out as possible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go close these low point drains. Before we put the antifreeze in, we want to close them, because if we start pumping antifreeze and those are open, you're just going to have a ton of antifreeze coming out. Ask me how I know. Last year I lost about a gallon of antifreeze because it's like, what's going on? It just kept coming out. So, all right, let's go get the antifreeze ready.
Best lessons are learned the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, so next, to pump the antifreeze through the plumbing lines, you want to find where your water pump is. So once again, everyone's water pump is in a different spot. If you're not sure where it's at, turn your pump on and kind of listen for it, and that will give you an idea of what part of the RV it's in. Ours is where our dinette is, so just underneath the cushion. We've got this handy dandy little tube that came with it. If you don't have one of these, you may have to go buy a winterization bypass kit. You can get those. I think they're made by Camco. You can get those at any of your big box stores, Camping World, something like that. But we already have one here. So right now it's got water from the fresh tank going through the pump, but we're going to turn this little valve here where it's facing the tube.
Valve?
That valve right there where it's facing the tube. And then what we'll do is, let me take this little cap off. Put our antifreeze down here. Put the tube down in the antifreeze, and then let's go over here and turn our pump on. All right, and it's going to prime that pump, so you can see some of the antifreeze going out of it right now. Pump is primed, we're going to go over and start opening up some of our faucets. So you can do either hot or cold, which side, it doesn't matter. Just turn it on until you get pink liquid coming out.
There's a lot of water in there.
Yep.
So why doesn't that come out when you do the other?
So there's pink coming out the hot. Got a little bit left in that. I'm going to have to change my antifreeze up here in a minute. All right, pink coming out the cold. So Sarah just asked why it all didn't come out. So you have these P-traps in here. You know, that's like a little arch shape that holds water. So you're not going to get it all out by just using compressed air. That's why I say when you're in a very cold environment, you want to do both compressed air and RV antifreeze, because if you just try to rely on just compressed air, you're going to end up having a bad day when it comes spring and you go de-winterize. All right, so we have pink coming out both those sides. Looks like this one's empty, so I'm going to open up another box. All right, so we've done the sink. So now let's go over and let's go into the bathroom. Little pink coming out, so that's good. Let's turn the cold. And we got some pink coming out of that. All right. You want to do the same with the toilet? Got a little pink coming out of that. How are we looking over there, Sarah, on our...
You had about half.
Okay, good. All right, so...
I don't know if that thing's open or not. Hold it down.
Now the shower.
It's open.
I've got the hot going first. So you can see we got pink coming out of it. Now the cold. All right. So we've got the pink coming out of that. Okay. So let's go outside and check our... If you have an outdoor shower, you want to make sure to do that as well. So we'll go ahead and do our outdoor shower before we check. There we go. So that's the hot side. Do the cold side. There's the pink. All right. Good on that. Get a little spray there. All right, so let's check our low point drains. Make sure we got some pink coming out.
Hold on, Brent.
All right, so I'm gonna go with the cold first. Pink. Pink out of the hot. All right, so we're good with those, and we have...
Why'd you turn the pump off for the outside shower?
That way when I go to plug it in, it's a quick connect, but if the pump's on with all that pressure, I'll just have antifreeze just spraying all over me. So you definitely,
That would
once
have been
again,
fun, though.
ask me how I know why. Final one, we got this little spray port here. And just want to make sure. Looks like still got a little bit of clear, just blowing the rest of that out, and we'll make sure it's completely pink. There we go. Boom. We're good to go. Now let me go turn that. But then, like I said, we talked about those P-traps. It's always good. You got a little bit of extra antifreeze. I like to come back through and just pour a little bit down into the sink. We'll do it in all of our sinks. A little bit there. In case there's any water hiding out. We'll do it in our bathroom sink. And then the shower. And there we go. So that, all the plumbing lines are now filled with antifreeze. I'll go back through, wipe this up, because you want to wipe up the pink stuff. It could possibly stain your showers or sinks. So it's good practice to go back in and wash that up. I won't bore you with that. You always want to make sure your toilet, you've got antifreeze above the sill. So during the winter, it's good practice if you have it in storage. Go check on it periodically. Always keep a little antifreeze. I'll just keep it under the bathroom counter here, and we'll come in and just periodically fill it up a little bit more with antifreeze in case there's, you know, the seal is not tight or great or whatnot. So that way you always have it filled up, and you're good to go. So that's how you winterize with compressed air and antifreeze. Other practices is take out all your batteries. What else, Sarah?
Leave your fridge and freezer open. We're walking back and forth right now, but we always we have one of these little bars that goes across and keeps things from falling out while we were driving if it was open. We always leave it cracked. And another thing you can do is just pull your veggie drawer out a little bit, and it won't close while it's in storage. The light will go off after a minute or so, but leave that open until it's completely dry. You can close it, but if you close it and it's not dry, it's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, for sure. And then you want to take your batteries out of your smoke alarms or whatever else you have inside.
TV
remotes out. And then we
take all cleaners. We leave no food, nothing that's liquid.
No food or liquids. And then once we actually have it in storage and parked and ready to go, then I take the house battery out, the 12 volt. I just take it home and I put a trickle charger on and leave it on the trickle charge for the winter until we're ready to use again in the spring. But that's winterization 101 for beginners. Like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next year.